Today we're going to perform a basic field strip disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly of the SIG Sauer P365. The first thing we're going to do when handling any weapon is ensure that the weapon is safe. While pointing the gun in a safe direction, you're going to remove the source of ammunition. Bring your slide back, lock it up, take this slide lock, bring it down, rotate it down in a 90-degree angle. From here, once you bring your slide forward, you'll see that it's past the frame. And from here, you should be able to just push the slide off. You shouldn't have to pull the trigger on this weapon. If you do, I would go ahead and contact SIG. The next thing we're gonna do is remove the dual catheter recoil spring. You're gonna press on the spring forward and it should be able to lift right out. Then you'll take your barrel, you can slide it forward, lift it out. Now you have your basic field strip. First thing I like to do when I'm cleaning my guns, I like to use Hoppe's number 9 in general. I have this basic kit right here. It has your lubricating oil, patches, rod end accessories, and of course it comes with the famous Hoppe's number 9 gun bore cleaner. I also have Q-tips, patches, handy dandy toothbrush, or you can purchase your gun cleaning brushes that have the dual heads. I also have my rod along with my rod end accessories that are appropriate for this weapon type. I keep on deck some paper towels, a good microfiber cloth, and now we can begin to clean our weapon. First thing I like to clean always first is my barrel. As you can see, this gun is actually virtually new and it's been cleaned already, but for the purposes of this video, we are going to clean it. As you see here, I'll take my barrel. Now, while my barrel really wasn't dirty, for the purposes of this video, I am going to take my bore brush, dip it into some oil, and then I'm going to pass it through the barrel while allowing it to follow the rifling that's inside of the barrel. And I'm just going to pass it through one time and remove that. Take your patch, you can place it in some oil, and you can do the same thing. I'm just going to actually go ahead and let this barrel sit for a little while to break up anything that might be on here and proceed to the rest of the weapon. My dual catheter recoil spring, it's not dirty, but you just sit there and I like to pass it through with my gun bore cleaner. Then let's get to our slide. Now, if you're using something like this that is a spray, you definitely really want to make sure that when you're putting your cleaner onto the gun that you're tilting it in a downward direction, because you want to prevent the oil from getting into the firing pin and striker channel. Take another patch, put some cleaner on there. Then I'll grab one of my brushes and I will go to work. Now, I really love using these because of the dual brush heads, and these are great for getting into those rails. And then right here, if you can see where your extractor is, if you can see, your extractor is right here, that little piece of metal that's coming out protruding. So definitely want to make sure that I get in there and get that clean, and also make sure that I am cleaning the breech face area. After I've done that, Now I'm going to take a match again and just pass through it. Grab a clean patch and start to get that oil out. Okay, and as you can see, we are looking very clean, but we knew that already. Grab your frame, gonna do the same thing. For my ladies with the nails, you see, this is why I like to wear gloves. Voila. So for the frame, I'm gonna take another patch, I'm gonna lube it up and go through the frame. So now that my frame is pretty much clean, I'm gonna go back to my barrel. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my rod accessory. I will put this mop on here, put some oil in there, and pass it through. Now when you're using these rod and accessories, you'll see that this handle goes around. It allows the rod to follow the rifling that's inside of the barrel. So I'll pass this through here, and I'll bring it out. You can do the same, passing it through with a patch. And I'm gonna grab my brush. And I'm gonna grab my brush and get in here and make sure that my barrel lugs and everything else is clean. Now always say you need to really focus on this feed ramp area and these barrel lugs, but however, since the gun is so clean, it's not much to do. Super clean. Now at this point, we are ready to lubricate our weapon. Grab my lubricating oil. I'm just gonna drop some here on the barrel. And I'm just gonna make sure these barrel lugs are lubed. Now, good frame of reference for lubing your weapons is if you can see it, meaning you can see the sheen of oil, and you can feel it, meaning you can feel a slight layer of lube, but when you lift it up, it doesn't drip or run under gravity. That's probably all you need. Just wiping down my slide all the way before I lube it. And when you're lubing your weapon, once again, you want to keep the slide tilted down because you don't want any of that oil behind the firing pin, and you don't want it to get into your extractor area. So I'm just going to take a drop and pretty much put it on both sides into the rail. And I don't know if you can see, it is running down into the rails. Now some people like to take the actual to lube it right here, but since we did it here, these touch points, we don't necessarily need to do it right here, but you definitely want to make sure that you put some lube on any of the major wear points on the weapon. So right here where your barrel lug touches the top of the slide, as you can see, there is wear right there. Definitely want to lube that area. Just a drop. Nothing outrageous. Then put a little bit of lube onto my guide rod, and you don't need a lot, just a drop, and I'll just pass that through here as well. Some people don't like to lube these, but a little bit does not hurt. Now that we have cleaned our gun, we are going to reassemble it. I am going to reassemble, take my barrel, place it in, grab my dual catheter recoil spring, larger side, flush with the muzzle, back side toward the chamber. Push it down, pop it in, ensure that it's flush with the slide. And you're going to grab your frame, line this up like so. It should slide right on, cock it back. As I bring my slide back, everything still looks like it's functional. Take my mag, I'm just going to wipe it down. And I don't want any oil on here. Then I'm going to put my magazine back into the weapon. And as I mentioned before, when you're lubing, you should be able to see it and feel it and see the sheen of it, but you should not pick up your gun and it's leaking oil. So now we have completed our build strip, disassembly, and reassembly of the SIG Sauer P365.